everybody. I have a pleasure today to welcome Michael Valdes. He's the president of eXp Global. He's going to be joining us today to answer a few questions about his vision for 2021 and what's going on with eXp Global. Welcome, Michael.
Carlos, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on your show as a guest. It's really been fantastic. It's been fantastic to work with you and your team and your organization this year.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited about our new partnership where we started this year and already going like mad, going crazy. And we are very excited about moving forward in 2021. So wanted to get your thoughts on where you see things going.
Of course.
So to start off, technology is obviously an essential part of your running a virtual franchise. And so what advantages do you see your tech-focused business model offer when it comes to overcoming these challenges for international real estate in the coming year?
Well, it's sort of like in the world that we're living in now with the COVID world where everyone was forced to become remote. We have been for the last 11 years. And the idea of the Virbela platform is really a whole world that's been created in a virtual environment around the globe. And so now it's really when it's been put to the test and it's not only done well, but really exceeded anyone's expectations. When we start sort of seeing that technology, not only serving our own real estate needs, but going out and serving the needs of other sectors that were caught in this similar dilemma of trying to find a deliverable that was already built and proven for the last decade for eXp through the Virbela platform. So now they've been using the Virbela platform in other sectors like the financial sector with Price Waterhouse and Deloitte, and also in the entertainment industry. And they've done a deal with Live Nation and with other technology deals like HTC Computer. So it's been an interesting platform.
Right. Well, that's great. Yeah, no, it's very exciting, very unique proposition for sure.
It really is.
And obviously internationally, we are working with you on all of your international focus. And we did a survey of real estate professionals from 35 countries around the world. And the majority of them said that with pandemic environment or situation, people have seen a bit of a slight decline in buyer demand. And what advice would you give to those trying to adapt to that situation where we have a slightly less demand for buyers, and how they can leverage either technology or a plan to be successful in 2021?
First of all, I think that it depends on where you were when we start talking about this on a global scale to see if there was actually a decline of buyer demand, because in some cases we actually saw a really strong uptick, right? Because people were needing different things. People's needs changed during the pandemic. They realized that their home had to be not only a place where they lived, but also a place that became a classroom, an office, a gym, where people needed to have all of their lives activities under one roof. And so for them, it was just an opportunity to go and purchase something in some cases that was larger. And so it was really a needs-based demand. And so we also realized that most of us lived close to where we worked. Yes. And if we were working remotely now, that need is out of that equation. Mm-hmm. And so then what becomes important is that quality of life. It's really sort of spending time with family, being able to have outdoor space for children, for pets. And so the needs change because the needs for us to be in an urban environment wasn't there as much. But in really the focus of what we would use technology for, everything sort of changed. Think about how we would sort of do a virtual showing now of a home. Yeah. That decision gets sped up because most times you don't get a sale on a virtual home, but that changed during the pandemic because again, the needs changed. So if you sort of knew the neighborhood, if you in some cases might have even seen the property prior to the pandemic and was thinking about it, you were now in a decision to pull that trigger because your needs again were driven, and so was your motivation. And so when you were doing those virtual showings, in keeping with that example, the decision makers could actually be more involved. So if you actually had, you don't have to have a babysitter while you and your wife go and find the perfect home. The kids become part of that experience because they're part of that first showing, right? Yes. And so all of those things change. Our industry changed because of that. We had to adapt to it.
Right, 100%. And also the consumers also became more comfortable with the technology because
100%.
they've had to use it for their own jobs,
That's right.
and so then they become more comfortable with, oh, well, a virtual showing is actually not a bad idea. This technology thing's not so scary. So the agents, not just the agents adapting, but even the consumers, I felt have started to adapt as well, which is great.
And that's a good point, Carlos, because it becomes, you need the audience, right? Otherwise, we'd just be Zooming ourselves.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
need the audience who's going to be the other side of that equation. And
exactly.
the more comfortable the consumer feels and in contracting with a deal
Right,
virtually,
right.
the more this will become commonplace.
Yeah,
The more it will become part of what this industry will become post-COVID,
yeah,
because this whole thing will change. It's sort of like we're thinking
yeah,
about retail, the way people shop, the what like shopping malls are. Most people are just really now comfortable with the whole Amazon thing, where it arrives the next day or even the same day.
yeah, yeah,
Right? They don't have to get
absolutely.
out.
Yeah, and the convenience thing also applies to real estate too, right? As like you were saying before, you had to coordinate babysitters. They had an agent had to drive around town, all different places. Now they can literally do a big part of their work sitting at their desk,
Yeah.
or sitting at a cafe and do a lot of their work without having to spend a lot of time on the road and those kind of things. So yeah,
And think about
100%.
the multiple showings you can do with one client,
Yeah,
right? So if you had
yeah,
a client for the afternoon, you were lucky if you showed 3 homes,
that's right.
depending on the price.
Yeah,
And so now you can sit there and do 10 homes in a matter of an hour, and compare all of them and discuss about all of them, and
exactly.
sort of have them all on the same screen.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. I think it's definitely has forced us into this mode, but I think many of these things are going to trickle into our lives well beyond this pandemic.
It's going to be good news for you.
Yes, no, we are very excited. We are very excited. We think we're definitely well poised. And we a lot of times have
You
been
are.
talking about how technology is going to replace the agent and things like that. Like I've never been a big fan of that. I think that the technology is always there to help the agent with their customers, and that's why
A million percent.
we're very
It's part
very
of the
focused on that.
toolkit,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know.
they need tools to make the experience better for the customer,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, that's awesome. No, thank you for sharing those insights. And so just doing a bit of a little bit of retrospect in the last few months, even we've been able to launch together with EXP 5 countries.
That's right.
And what's next on the horizon for EXP Global? What do you see coming?
Well, we're very, very busy. We had an internal meeting last week where we actually plotted out the entire year. And we
Nice.
had an all-day meeting, and it's really very exciting things. We've got the majority of our countries, at least on a target list.
Okay.
And we have our Q1 countries already selected, and we'll be announcing that to the public the first week in January. And so we are indeed very, very busy, and really, this is a platform where with the EXP model, it's really just a business platform, right? Where the agent becomes the brand.
Right.
And in so doing, the way that people have received the brand in the different countries that we're in has been so amazing. Like in Mexico, for example, we've been open 2 weeks, and we have over 400 agents in various stages of joining.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got I think it was about 150 or so that have already joined during that period of time, and another 250 or so in various phases. But, it shows, and there's a huge pipeline that's coming in. I mean, yesterday I had a call from someone that is interested, and it's another brand that's there now, a local brand that has over 1,000 agents, and they're interested in the EXP platform.
Right.
And so, when you start sort of seeing this deliverable around the globe, what we're building is really because we're not a franchise, what we're building is a global brand that really has never been done, because almost every other brand is either franchised or master franchise of some sort. And so you have owners around the globe, but here you have one brand that's going to be operating around the globe that has, really as a public company, the agents as shareholders.
Right. That's great.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting model. Definitely is pushing the boundaries as far as a new approach to real estate.
Yes.
And look forward to being part of that success and helping you wherever we can with that and on the international scale. So very excited about 2021 and wanted to thank you so much for your time today. I really, really
Oh, Carlos,
appreciate it.
thank you.
And we will for sure be in touch in the new year and have a great holidays with your family and friends.
Thank you so much, and all the best to you and your family, Carlos. And thank you for all the support this year. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.